This is a generic model based on our TennCare and ACA analysis via numbers that are easy to work with. It can be rescaled for other applications. Subtract the undocumented first. For example, 350,000 cut per 1 million enrolled when applied to TennCare's projected 500,000 in 2026 who are non-disabled adult enrolled predicts 175,000 cut from TennCare. Comparison with the 171,000 on average that we projected using our in-depth analysis. So suppose a generic program with 1 million participants that receives 10,000 per participant, either as entitlement or a premium or a combination of both. Suppose work requirements verified annually and 10 billion in claims each year. The program breaks even, and the state pays administrative overhead. Recall the One Big Beautiful Bill provides no new administration dollars. Suppose 600,000 verify via tax return online, and the other 400,000 are handled by 400 caseworkers, each processing 1,000 cases per year. And that's high. 700 a year is probably more realistic. Then a law requires all must verify once every 6 months. Even if 600,000 can verify the second time online, the program must either double the number of caseworkers, doubling the administration cost, or it must cut 400,000 verifications per year, which means 200,000 a year who are eligible but are not enrolled in the program. But a tax return is annual, can only be used for one verification, so the website will have to be expanded to accommodate highly variable individual documentation submissions. Suppose it refers half those cases to caseworkers. That means 300,000 additional verifications for a total of 200,000 plus 150,000. That's 350,000 cut from the program due to doubling the verification frequency. And it's avoidable only if the state doubles the program's administration funding. Remember, TennCare administration is $1 billion a year. The USA annual death rate in 2023 was 1,815 per 100,000 for those under the age of 65. Those without health insurance are 40% more likely to die than those with. So removing insurance for 350,000 yields 2,541 avoidable deaths per year. That is 25,000 avoidable deaths per million enrolled over the 10-year period. Let high risk be a high probability that a participant makes a claim. The One Big Beautiful Bill's goal is to cut only low risk from program rolls, which means 6.5 billion received against 10 billion in claims. The 3.5 billion default is passed on to providers that are also used by private and employer-based plans, resulting in higher premiums for everyone in the state. Additionally, providers must renegotiate reimbursements twice as often, which means insurers incur more administration costs and thus must raise premiums, which cuts enrollments. Since the first of the year is tax season, doubling the frequency of verification leads to large enrollments in the first half of the year, followed by large cuts and large uncompensated care in the second half of the year, introducing large cyclical increases in the management of all plans and higher premiums. So employers may turn to health savings accounts and individual choices of insurers for their employees. All insurer pools are now losing low-risk participants and their premiums, so all pools are increasing in risk and all providers are renegotiating more and more often. The asymptotic theoretical outcome is that all insurers and providers are continuously increasing administration costs to support continuous renegotiations of reimbursement rates for arbitrarily many pools, in which each pool is either purely high risk or purely low risk. The real-world implication is cascade failure of insurers and providers. Granted, this almost certainly will be addressed with legislation in a year or so, mandating annual verification only in order to avoid what will be then obvious looming crisis. Thus, Medicaid cuts in the One Big Beautiful Bill offset deficits only briefly, which means at least $1 trillion of the anticipated cuts will be added back to the $3.7 trillion already predicted to be added to the debt, which means the return of hyperinflation offsetting any benefits of the One Big Beautiful Bill to the state.